Cuts.
But is there any information that's coming, shall we say, call it from the West, and does any of it filter into the People's Republic of China at all?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, there isn't really the kind of draconian censorship that people think of when they think of the PRC. In fact, even the YouTube censorship is kind of reminiscent of the McCarthyism of the United States in the 50s. It's more an annoyance than it is a problem. And nobody, I don't get a sense that anybody is afraid of their government or afraid that they're going to be put in jail for saying what they think and so on and so forth. But nobody here is anti-government per se. At most, they're just generally embarrassed by the image that it has in the West.
Do they realize in China that the display at the Olympics pretty much changed the whole world perception of the People's Republic of China? Are they aware of that?
Well, what do you mean? What changed? Because I'm actually not aware of it.
Well, during the Olympics, they had probably the most spectacular, I know Bob spoke about it specifically, spectacular opening ceremony of all time. It was truly remarkable, unlike anything the world's ever seen, and people were talking about it for weeks.
Oh, yeah, well, see, I missed all that because I'm kind of tuned out of the mainstream media. But one of the first things I noticed when I got here was how modern a city Beijing is. It's one of the most modern cities I think I've ever been in. And considering how big it is, it's incredibly spacious, and you don't really feel like you're in a city of 15 million people.
What's interesting is the Chinese aren't aware of the image that the Chinese government makes in relation to the rest of the world in what we call the TV landscape. It's an invisible environment, but they are thinking that the image they have is inferior.
Oh yeah. They definitely get a lot. Those who travel, and China's middle class travels. And if they travel outside of China or even in China, they encounter Westerners who usually have some negative point of view that the Westerner has acquired through, the propaganda of Western media.
Interesting. Does Juanita see amongst her relatives or individual friends any media influence? I mean, is there like a need for being able to break out of the existing limitations of the internet to find out other news of the world, or it's just not really a motivating factor?
Well, I mean, I don't really understand Chinese, so it's hard for me to say what's coming across in their media, but I don't get any sense that they lack an understanding of what's happening in the world from a media point of view. I mean, even the state-owned TV station runs commercials. It's like, if I could understand Chinese, I'd know better, but it's like when I watch it, and I've watched it a number of times, it's like watching American TV, only in Chinese.
I understand. Are they concerned, or are they aware of the financial infrastructure and the gigantic transformational change that's happening in the U.S.? Is it something on their radar, or is it not really at all?
No, I don't think it's as an acute an awareness here as it is in the U.S. In fact, because I'm tuned out of it here in Asia, I don't really get it until I call home and talk to relatives or check out things, and then I become aware of how acute the situation is in the U.S. But over here, it's it's really not on the daily radar as it is in the U.S.
So Buzz, what's interesting is the Chinese government on the TV landscape is protecting the image of the United States because China owns it.
Yeah.
We're collapse in the United States.
Do you get a sense of that from any of your media? She says no sense of the troubles that the U.S. is facing. Although I did notice when I was doing my research that some Chinese government official of high rank had mentioned his concern over the state of the U.S. economy, but it doesn't really come into play. And the U.S. is pretty far away, and the day-to-day life of the average Chinese person, it really isn't being thought of.
北京王自2004年 OK